Друзья, всем привет! Канал «Английский простым языком» на связи. Меня зовут Никита. Сегодня мы находимся с вами в достаточно такой популярной, легендарной локации в городе Москва, Патриаршие пруды. Я примерно год назад в июле делал похожее видео, но я опрашивал людей на русском языке. Сегодня я решил вернуться в эту локацию, потому что здесь сегодня достаточно людно. Сегодня пятница, люди, я надеюсь, будут достаточно снисходительный на диалог, достаточно расслабленный после тяжелой рабочей недели. Ну и, конечно же, я буду задавать эти вопросы сразу на английском языке. И также есть небольшой интересный сюрприз. Помимо вопросов на английском языке, будет также небольшой тест грамматики некоторых моментов про английский язык. Ну и, конечно же, для тех, кто ответит достаточно успешно на эти вопросы, хотя бы на большую из них часть, получит очень вкусный приз. Берем с вами камеру и поехали. Надеюсь, сейчас мне будет даже самому интересно, с какого человека я смогу поймать того первого, кто ответит на вопросы про английский язык. Hello, good evening. Would you mind answering a couple of questions in English?
No.
Can I have just a couple of minutes of your time if you don't mind? What's your English level?
I don't know.
Would you mind answering a couple of questions in English? Right now you're making a video. You have a wireless microphone.
And you?
Of course.
My level maybe, I don't know.
I never measured it. I think not even upper intermediate, maybe intermediate, or
I hope that it's B2.
I speak a little bit. 2 years ago it was B2.
Oh my god. You have a British accent.
I think now it's A2.
I think that my English level is intermediate.
I guess B2.
C1, I guess.
What's your English level?
I think not so high.
Do you speak
Hello. Speak Russian?
Do you speak English?
No, чуть-чуть.
Чуть-чуть.
You say hello. Не совсем знаю.
So what do you think? What is the most difficult part of learning English? Listening, reading, maybe writing, or maybe grammar, or speaking, finding a partner?
I don't know. For me, the most difficult was just to believe, or just to trust that I can speak and start to speak.
Well, and how often do you use English in your day-to-day life?
I'm not using it now very often, but before, when I worked mostly for foreign customers, I used it much often.
Well, but right now you're speaking pretty well, by the way.
Thank you. Now I'm used only like now.
Okay.
Once a year. When you ask, I speak.
Actually, I read a lot of documentation in English because I'm an engineer, and videos also, and speaking also in traveling.
No 1 minute. I'm just traveling a lot. I've been taught English from my childhood, from my 2 years old or something.
Not so often as I want, but usually maybe 5 years ago, maybe every day for my work. I've worked in IT company and we communicate with Indians and British people to I forgot.
Never. Today.
Процентов 50 на 80, но стараюсь.
Смотришь что-нибудь? Подкаст?
Английское, Дональд Трамп.
Дональд Трамп. Новости?
Да. Ну, смотрю иногда, но лидирует хорошо. И я рад, что он стал президентом. На самом деле, очень рад. Но надеюсь, Трамп-коин снова взлетит и рейтинг поднимется хорошо. Надеюсь, YouTube разблокируют.
Да, 100%.
Hello, Trump. I love Trump.
I guess it's going to be the best part of this video.
How I use my English?
No, how often? Every day, maybe every week, tomorrow, yesterday, today?
A few days in a week. I should have a more practice in my job, in my lifestyle.
Not that often. Previously, I used it. I didn't really work in a company. I used to go to a British school.
Not often, just I live in USA 1 year and there
You lived in US?
Yeah, in Florida, Lakeland with my father. There I studied a little bit English, but in Russia, no one time I speak in.
No, I guess you have B1, B2 because you have an American accent a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
So I'm studying now in English. Yeah, that's why I used to speak English just every day.
Do you have a tutor?
No, I have been learning English since I was 7 years old. Yeah, and I started learning it at my school.
Well, have you ever had an English tutor?
Maybe, but I need to just dig a bit in my brain. Yeah, we have about 7 lessons per week in my school.
Probably 12 years,
12 years.
Since the first grade, yeah. Probably not that often, but right now my friend Maria studied abroad, and that is why we, I don't know why, but we sometimes we switch to to English.
How often do you have maybe some English practice together?
Probably a few times a week.
I watch TikTok.
Если ты не будешь
Это
учить,
все равно общение международное, как-никак, поэтому...
это для твоего развития. Ты можешь не учить, как бы это твой выбор, а можешь выучить, и ты будешь на уровне
более
выше.
широкий кругозор.
Просто сейчас разницу сравнивать, допустим, так как эти водители такси. 20 лет назад никто не пользовался навигаторами, сейчас без навигатора за ближайший угол не заедут.
Ну, это неправильно. Вот, например, в Англии, чтобы люди, которые вот, они знают свой маршрут, потому что таксист, у них там это хорошая
Обязанность.
Да,
Здесь, если он закажете, он за угол заедет, он уже не...
дорогу покажешь.
Да. А здесь в центре еще и глушат их.
Ну, это минус того, что, наверное, больше
Приезжие?
таксисты, да, наверное, приезжие, как бы.
Но в Лондоне, скорее всего, там англичане, потому что зарплата, я понимаю. Да.
Ну, и англичане, и более сертификация жесткая, наверное.
What's the best way to learn?
I think that you need travel more and practice it in other countries.
I think the best way is try to go deep into, I don't know, move to another country to speak it every day, to use it every day. It's the best way, I think, to learn.
I think you can watch films and serials maybe, and you in original sound, and you can learn it.
The best not way but reason why you can start speaking English or learning English is just to understand the reason.
I have a reason. Okay,
Yeah,
I
okay,
need
you
this
have a
just for self-improvement. So what's the best way for me to start?
Watching YouTube videos on the what you like, themes what you like,
What I like.
movies, serials.
Какой лучший способ выучить язык?
Ну, ходить на уроки английского языка в школе, не прогуливать, как я.
I think to watch serials and films, travel in other countries should have a practice with English person who know English on high level.
I think that good practice we can get with negotiation, with talks with expats, and maybe some YouTube channels.
I guess watching films and enjoying music on this language.
Or what about speaking, watching YouTube videos, maybe having a tutor?
Well, it's also a great idea.
To speak with native speakers.
What about YouTube? What about having a tutor? What about maybe some grammar textbooks?
I don't think that works.
I think that it's practice more not in like Russia. Maybe you can travel a little bit like USA or another country where you can speak in English, and there you can study and have a good English.
I think that's if you have a chance that you need to practice with the native speakers. Yeah, I think that's the best way to.
I think for me it works by watching films in English or probably finding someone who speaks English. So you can practice a bit, maybe friends, or there are different apps for learning English. But now for me it is not a problem because if you hang out with like international students, you speak a lot, and so like it's a daily practice, and for me this way is the best now.
Также, друзья, отличная новость для тех, кто давно хотел начать тренировать свою английскую речь. Хотел вам сообщить, что я открыл разговорный клуб в онлайн-формате, который даст вам прекрасную возможность целенаправленно тренировать ваш английский разговор. Ну и, конечно же, что самое главное, это возможность участвовать в групповом общении, дискуссиях и обсуждении большого количества интересных тем и вопросов. Всю необходимую информацию вы сможете найти по ссылке в описании к этому видео. Переходите, и я буду рад вас видеть в нашем разговорном клубе. Сделали небольшую рекламную паузу, продолжим. So, without considering going abroad, is it possible to learn this language, maybe to reach C1 level, like maybe your level, my level, without going abroad? Just here in Russia, maybe with a Russian tutor?
Maybe, yeah, with some, we have a lot of school of English in Russia, yeah, maybe, and people can to use it.
If I don't have any chance to speak with natives, I live here in Russia and I don't have money to travel abroad, is it possible to learn this language, to reach your level, C1 level?
I think that's if you have a dream, if you have a name to learn English, I think that's everything is possible. Maybe some apps in just App Store or Google Store are very helpful sometimes.
Well, yes, I think yes, but I don't know how.
Is it better to have a Russian or English speaking tutor?
Teacher,
Teacher, of course, yeah, tutor.
I think it's better to have English speaker, native English.
Native, okay,
native,
so
yes.
foreigner. So, but is it possible to learn maybe up to C1 without having a foreigner?
I think yes. Still, if somebody, for example, Russian, but who know very well, who studied it in universities as a specialty, we can teach to very good level.
Much common to use written English. It's more useful.
You should have a teacher who speaks Russian and English, because when you have some trouble she or he should help you, and she or he should be like, capable to help you. And then, when you are learning and you are growing in your level, you can just hire only English speaking.
Лучше иностранца. Если есть, конечно, связь с прямым иностранцем, то ты будешь знать какие-то вот эти нюансы, которые тебе не сможет дать преподаватель.
Like having a tutor who is a native speaker.
Native speaker.
Yeah.
Is it possible to learn without having a native, only Russian person?
Oh well, yes, I think it's possible, but it's either better and faster to learn with if you learn only with fellow Russians, it's like if you're not going to go to this country and live around native speakers, so it might work out. But I visited London and England as well, other cities. But it's kind of different to speak with native speakers if you're never heard their.
It's not important because if you have a good teacher in English from America or England, British English, it doesn't matter.
Is it better to have a Russian or English-speaking tutor?
An English one.
I don't know. It's difficult.
I think it doesn't matter as long as your Russian teacher speaks properly, and teach you some like often used words. It's okay.
Yeah, probably, you know, in terms of grammar, I mean, probably the native speaker, he or she, they do not feel the Russian language structure, and probably the Russian people, they will manage to explain the rules.
Лучше иметь учителя из зарубежной страны или из России?
Ну, зарубежный учитель, в плане, если брать режиссеров, актеров, мне кажется, как Сильвестр Сталлоне, ну или как на то время Реймон Ройси так брать, но я точно не могу это сказать. Если сейчас брать офигенных актеров, ну или режиссера на первом месте, это Жора Крыжовников. Ну, потому что это все растет потихоньку в России, потому что кино так хорошо выросло, как слово пацана смотрел.
What's the biggest mistake which people make when it comes to learning English?
I don't know. I know. They don't believe that they can speak. You should not delay. You should just start from today and speak what you want to speak, and that's all. Just start speaking, not learning.
They neglect practicing like speech. I think they need to use common phrases and know that there are actually 3 times in English and nothing special more.
They don't speak. Yeah, because I don't know many rules, правила, in English, like grammar rules. But when I learned it, I spoke часто.
Often,
yeah.
Maybe they do not like make wider their vocabulary.
Not practice his language.
That they think that in English the most important it's grammar.
It's not important.
I think no. Every times in a lot of schools, teacher every times told you that grammar it's really very important. But for example, when it comes to USA or something like this country, you understand that it's really not so important. You must to have English and you must to like speak for people. So I think it's not important. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not doing something. Maybe only learning grammar. Maybe not speaking.
Yeah, learning grammar, because you have to practice. You have to learn the real language. I mean, how native speakers use it. So you have to, you know, consume the content that is made by native speakers. Watch some YouTube channels made by native speakers. Listen to songs. And if you don't do that, well, you make a great mistake.
Maybe they try too hard to learn grammar, and they think that grammar is help them when they come to another country.
Перестать практиковать свой. Потому что вот я как бы учил, что-то знаю, но потом забывается это все.
Самая большая ошибка, которую люди допускают при изучении английского?
При изучении английского не изучить правильно, когда поехать в Лондон и в Англию. Вот большие ошибки не изучить правильно людей английских. Вот это я хорошо знаю.
Вообще класс.
Ну и если брать самого офигенного актера за всю историю, причем качок, это Терминатор I'll be back.
Duolingo, YouTube, grammar textbooks or a tutor? What's the best one?
Maybe now I think I choose YouTube, Mr.
Well.
Beast.
Okay, Mr. Beast. Do you watch Mr. Beast?
Yes.
Without subs? In English?
In English.
And you understand almost everything?
Yes, because his emotion is very bright.
Emotions, okay. In my opinion, since I'm an English teacher, if you understand at least 90% of Mr. Beast channel, your English level is like B1 minimum, B2 plus or something. Because yeah, at least your listening comprehension. Duolingo, a tutor, a grammar textbook, or YouTube. Which one?
You're from Duolingo. Tutor plus YouTube plus Duolingo.
I think that it's mostly work that if you want, if you have a desire to learn English, that every app will help you.
But I guess it will help you only for one particular part, grammar.
Yeah.
It will not improve your speaking part.
Yeah, you know that there are some chat roulets in network,
Yeah.
maybe Discord, some
Discord,
international
yeah.
Discord servers, but there you can practice English very well.
But actually, no one can correct your grammar, your mistakes, because you can, talk to somebody, but at the same time making lots of mistakes, and you will not be able to differentiate these mistakes.
If we speak in that way, maybe tutor, yes, is the most helpful, the most practical way to learn English. So, but you know that you need to choose a correct tutor that your vibes will be like the same.
Приложухи классно работают, я с помощью него чуть-чуть поднял свой английский. Вы слышите, я хорошо разговариваю по-английски.
Приложение на телефоне эффективно использовать?
Понял. Не, я еще не пробовал. Пробовал, которые часы для бега, если брать спортом раньше занимался для легкого бега. Но еще другие, не Apple. Главное не загружаться и заниматься в меру. Ну и как же пить в первую очередь воду. Ну, кто-то скажет, в нашем мире все вредные. Почему?
What's the difference between present simple and present continuous?
Present continuous is happens right now.
Right now, okay. Present simple?
Present simple, it's just present.
What's the difference between present simple and present continuous? Let's check your grammar a little bit.
Present simple, I know it in Russian. Present simple – это настоящее время. Present continuous – настоящее продолженное.
Okay, present simple we use when we speak about actions which we do every day, and continuous, for example, when we're talking about what we're doing now.
What's the difference between present simple and present continuous?
Я должна на английском это ответить. I love cheese.
Okay, present continuous.
I am speaking in this microphone.
Yeah.
Continuous, it is now.
Это это будущее продолжено, это настоящее.
Не, вообще нет.
Не обращайте на меня внимания,
Окей,
я
да.
стажер.
Present simple. Present continuous. She is learning.
She is learning. Right now we're making this video, yeah. Present continuous. Right now, it's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Present simple.
She eats.
Present continuous, it's you use when you describe a process, like for everyday life.
It's a very difficult question.
What's the difference between present simple and present continuous?
I really don't know. I heard that there's an ing difference.
Okay, so right now, what we're doing right now?
We're speaking.
We're speaking.
To be honest, I just don't remember.
What's the difference between present simple and present continuous?
Present simple uses when you need to talk about things that are common. So maybe like I wear the jeans just every day.
Yeah, great, yeah.
And present continuous, present continuous, and we use present continuous when we are describing something that is happening right now.
What's the difference between many and much? For example, time, money, or iPhones.
Many is calculated and much not calculated.
Okay, countable and uncountable.
Yes.
Many we use with the things that we can count.
Great.
And much that we can't count.
Much and many. Biggest one thing. Many множественное число.
Исчисляемые, неисчисляемые.
For countable and much for uncountable.
Many apples. Much time.
Much we use with both of this, and we can use with plural forms. But much is used when we say about uncountable, and many is when countable.
Much with uncountable nouns and many with countable.
What's the difference between passive and active forms in English?
I use my pen. Pen is used by me.
Pen is used by me.
No, I don't know.
I learned English. I've been taught English.
The bed was made.
Okay, great. Yeah, the bed was made by this company. Yeah, and is it a passive or active form?
Passive.
Active form.
Active. I make my bed.
Passive we use when we talk about. I don't know how it's explained in Russian even. The house was built by.
Passive form, like the water is drunk. iPhone is made by Apple. The company Apple makes iPhones.
You can say this iPhone
Was produced by Apple.
Yeah, and active form.
Apple produces iPhones.
Some pictures were made by us. We made some pictures.
I have a few friends. I have few friends.
Few friends that you have not many, but it's okay.
Yep.
And few that you have little or you have not so much, and there's not enough.
Few refers to having several. For example, I have a few pens in my pencil box.
Yeah.
And few refers to when you have not a certain amount of something.
Yeah. Actually, I don't remember.
Few, немного. A few is when it's enough, and few is when it's not enough. Completely few, like you would like to have more friends.
I don't know.
I have a few friends. I have few friends.
I have a few friends. It sounds okay. Like I have a few friends, and when you say I have few friends, it's like it's bad way.
Okay, yeah. In case of few, I think you make like emphasis on countable like amount of people, and it's like a little.
Can you give me an example sentence of second and third conditional sentences?
I don't remember.
If I was an actress, I will be great.
If I would or I could.
I would, I could, and the other one in past perfect.
I haven't met right now so far any person answering the last question about conditional sentences.
Third conditional. If you remember me, the form had been.
Yeah, if plus past perfect plus I would have done something.
If I had prepared for my exam perfectly, I would have get 5.
Got.
I would have got
well,
5.
Yeah, the second one. If I was in Rome, I would go for a walk with Maria. I also learned French, and right now we are learning at university all those conditionnels. And it's similar with English, but now it's absolutely chaotic in my head. So unfortunately, I will not be able to give the explanation.
Ну что, друзья, на сегодня это будет все. Уже на улице максимально темно, поэтому я уже не буду дальше снимать. Я надеюсь, что вам сегодняшнее видео понравилось. Я вам честно скажу, что сегодня было очень много людей, которые говорят действительно очень-очень хорошо на английском языке. Также вам напоминаю, что вся необходимая информация находится в описании к этому видео. Ссылка на сборник по фильмам и сериалам для прокачки вашего английского слуха. И также запись на индивидуальное обучение. Если вы хотите также вместе со мной, помимо английского слуха, прокачивать вашу английскую речь и в целом весь английский язык, включая, конечно же, грамматику, изучение новых слов и, конечно же, отработку всего этого на практике. На сегодня это будет все. Также не забывайте подписываться на... Класс! Конечно же, также не забывайте подписываться на этот канал, оставить ваши лайки. И увидимся с вами, друзья, в нашем следующем видео. Пока! Меня тут уже кто-то снимает.